is up, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of Emphasis on Sports, where all we do, we have a little sports chatter, might throw some other popular things in there, but for the most part, man, we're on sports. Right now, wonderful time, Olympics, Olympics. Yesterday was day two. Had some really epic events to watch, epic things to watch. Really awesome day. Shoot, let's jump right into it. Let's start with basketball, men's basketball. Yesterday, the U.S. men's national team beat Serbia. Put a nice little beating on them later into the game. First half of the game was actually pretty close. To be honest, if Serbia did a better job hitting threes, the game overall might have changed a little bit. But very good game, very well played by the Americans. Of course, there's questionable things that go along with the game. Tatum didn't touch the floor. Halliburton didn't touch the floor. And it seems like Halliburton is kind of out of the rotation, which is a little bit wild to me. But things that I saw play very well, of course. Kevin Durant is dynamite. The dude, everything that we've seen, everything that we know, the guy comes with great nickname, Durantula, Easy Money Sniper, and my personal favorite, Slim Reaper. I love that one. I think that one's really sweet. But for this guy to just walk in the game, hasn't played in any of the warm up games, come in and drop his first 8 shots, and I mean, just easy, just buckets. I mean, one of them he dribbled down, and you could tell it was like a heat check, knock it down. Um, at first, I kind of figured he may be starting, but I like him coming off the bench in that 6-man role to boost that second wave of offense. But I really think we need to figure out something with Embiid. Um, Embiid's a phenomenal player. We know that. We get that. We love that. Um, but he's a little slow, and we tend to try to work through him. And when the ball goes to him, he more so has to stop. He can't just keep going like an AD. He's not as quick as Bam. So maybe Embiid is better served coming off of the bench for that second wave with KD, because that inside out game could end up being really good, really dominant for us. I mean, just imagine, KD gets the ball on the outside, you can't double him, you can't double off of Embiid. That's something you absolutely can't do. Um, and vice versa. Because if you're leaving KD open for even a split second, he can get that ball back and drill you. I would like to see Tatum get in the game some. Um, Same thing with Halliburton. Don't really have, anything bad to say about anything that I saw from anybody. Just more some constructive criticism, some of those things. But overall, we look like we're going to be the team that we think we are, marching towards the goal. Really looking forward to the rest of the games there. Um, Also on the American side, watch the women's national soccer team absolutely dominate Germany. Um, Damn, we played. Yeah, absolutely dominate Germany. That was a really interesting one. Um, One, Germany had different, like a blue and pink um, jersey uniform situation, which didn't really accent their colors. So it kind of threw me off watching the game. But our women's football team, soccer team, they look like they're going to be very strong. That front line is really fast. Trinity Rodman and the ladies, they look really good. Now let's see what happens as they continue to play. Do they continue on this streak? Do they continue looking good? Because they did really well against Zambia. Um, and speaking of Zambia, like, what a game yesterday with Australia. I mean, these are those situations where there was that rare own goal that really hurt. For those of y'all that don't know, at some point Zambia was ahead of the Aussies 5-3 and ended up losing that game 6-5 in the second highest scoring match in women's soccer history at the Olympics. Just like remarkable stuff. Now moving on to the pool, we saw some more great races. We saw the young kid Leon Marchand from France, who's just been murdering things, dominating, even broke a couple of Phelps's records. He went out and got a gold for home, which which is awesome for him. We saw a couple of our young ladies get gold and silver. Miss Husky, that was really, really cool what you did with Gretchen having her hop up on the gold on the number one area on the podium. That's really, really cool. That's something that she's going to remember for the rest of her life, no doubt. But also, I want to throw something else out there right now. We in America, we love to celebrate ourselves and we celebrate winners. We love a good story. We love to see people do great, right? We need to talk about the South Korea women's archery team. We got to talk about them. I don't know if anyone realizes it, but they just won their 10th gold medal in a row. 10 gold medals. That is amazing. And I did watch that last little match there. I mean, they're ridiculous. We need to celebrate that. Show them some love there. Um, we dominate a lot of sports and do very well in a lot of individual sports, but you got to show that. You got to show that. You got to talk about that. Um, Also, Snoop. Big shout out to Big Snoop Dogg. NBC, you guys did the right thing signing him up. Somehow or another, Snoop has turned into the ambassador of America when it comes to the rest of the world, and that's really cool to see. It really is. The guy's out there having fun. He's probably the most popular human being on the planet. And who else? Who else will we send out there that can just have a good time? And anybody that wants to think anything crazy or anything like that, yeah, he's Snoop. He probably out there smoking. He's out there drinking. He's out there having a good time. It's who he is. That's not going to change. But that's what people expect of him. And he does all those things with a little bit of elegance and some responsibility, which is really, really sweet. Right. Um, Also, back to the Olympics. So stayed up last night watching some surfing replays, which is really cool. I really don't know how to score it, but it is really cool to watch. Something that I definitely wouldn't do, and something that I know that the folks out there surfing it's amazing. I know that that's a whole different arc of the world, but really, really, really cool to see. Gymnastics, our women's team, they're looking like behemoths. They're looking like monsters. And Simone, Suni, Jordan, all the ladies, they're out there and they're rolling. Want to see what's going on with Simone's ankle. I think she'll be all right. It's just going to be a little tough for her to stick landings. It looked like 'cause there's a couple situations where it looked like she dropped, landed on one foot with the other one as a small little brace. Um, but it's looking like we're on the path to another goal, and that's always gonna be cool, man. I'm just checking it out. Women's rugby, come on. Um, the USA Women's National Rugby Team, they're looking like absolute beasts. This is why, for me, like I love the Olympics. I really do. You kind of get into sensory overload a little bit. There's so many things going on. You're trying to keep track of stuff. You're trying to watch stuff. There was skateboarding, which I didn't really even get to see. There's this sport and that sport, and it's all just great competition, even when it's not your country that wins. Just like I said with the archery, watching those young ladies win that gold, and it's the 10th straight gold, that's really sweet to see. It's really awesome to see, right? Those are the things that I really like. And it's also interesting to me that um, a lot of these things are done from an early age. So take water polo for instance. Water polo, you look and you see, this is a person from California or a person from the Midwest, born and raised, and they're playing water polo. But where you're from, they don't have that, so you don't think about that. For me, I went to high school in Vegas. There was no water polo teams. Um, there was a lot of things that are in the Olympics that we just didn't do in Vegas. You didn't hear about swimmers. It wasn't really that much of a thing per se, right? That doesn't mean it's not happening somewhere else and it's not happening at a high level. So it's really cool to see. And it's one of those things with the Olympics where it makes me kind of like, damn, I wish I could have done that when I was younger. Maybe I would have been good at it. Or I wish I would have looked for that you never know. But it's really cool to see some of these sports and some of these games that you don't necessarily grow up playing, but your country is represented, and we're doing well, and we're doing real well. As the Olympics continue to ramp up, we know track and field's coming. With all the team sports, we're just going down the pike, getting to those qualifying rounds, then getting to the knockout stages of everything. Which, when you get into that one and done situation, those are just entertaining games. Those are really, really just like fan favorites, right? Big shout out to the fans too. Watching the Olympics is always cool because when the fans really get after it and they're cheering on their team or they're cheering against somebody, you can feel it through the TV. Learned something interesting yesterday about Joel Embiid. I did not know that he had French citizenship as well. I knew he had citizenship for Cameroon and the States. Didn't know for French as well because they were booing the hell out of him every time he touched the ball. Didn't really get why. Now I do. Um, but I mean, it is what it is, man. He chose where he wanted to go. Um, he's trying to get that gold, baby, and hopefully the process can get it done. But bring him off the bench. Bring him off the bench, please, for the betterment of all of us. We don't need to coddle nobody or make him feel better. Bring him off the bench. I just think it's the best move, and I don't feel wrong saying that at all. Um, so a little beach volleyball team looks really really good. The women's team, men's team that I saw lose to Cuba, eh. But I know we have another team out there with OG Chase Budger on it. Big Arizona Wildcat, what up? Who made his way into the Olympics through beach volleyball, which is real cool. Like I'm telling you, Olympics, a lot of stories. Um, the bigger the story, the better. And a lot of times we're seeing these great stories and then seeing these athletes live out their dreams and medal. And that's why they put in all the hard work. And that's why you see the raw emotion and the feeling. And sometimes it hits you a little bit as you're listening to the story and you're watching the athlete do their thing. Um, like that's the Olympics, baby. So today I'm looking forward. I'm actually when I'm done here, I'm gonna just dive into the Olympics. That's on the plan today. It's on the agenda. Um, I know our women's basketball team. We're gonna play Japan here in a couple hours. There's just gonna be. I don't know, man. I'm gonna have all my three TVs. That gold zone is major. It's major. So I'm gonna have on the gold zone, then I'm gonna find a couple things that I really want to set forth on, and I'm gonna check that out. Nothing really major going on in any of the other sports. So right now the focus really is on the Olympics. We know in a couple weeks um, we're gonna be in full swing in NFL preseason. Matter of fact, this upcoming weekend we're gonna have the Hall of Fame game. I watch those highlights on TV. I'm not a big watcher of the Hall of Fame game. Game kind of sucks. I love watching all the people get put into the Hall of Fame and all the speeches and the presentations and the bust and the memories and all of those emotions and all that. But the game usually a dud. So yeah, I don't plan on watching that. I'll catch some highlights. We'll talk about that definitely. Um, then trade deadline in MLB, nothing earth shattering, nothing that's like wow, I can't believe this happened. So we'll see what happens as that goes. Big thing, big ticket is the Olympics, baby. So just stick with us. We'll be back either later today or tomorrow. Talk about the Olympics. Um, we're in there. All right. This is Damon Anthony. Emphasis on sports. Love y'all. Y'all have a good night.